Hi, Karen Curry Parker here with your weekly Human Design Evolution Report. We've got a bunch of things to cover this week, so hang on and let's get rolling. First of all, this week marks the beginning of a brand new Human Design quarter. The Human Design year is laid out into 4 quarters. Each quarter contain within them the energies of a micro creative cycle, and also they're part of a macro creative cycle that spans the entire solar year, 365 days-ish. The quarter that we are entering right now is a quarter that is sort of leading up to, if you were going to use a metaphor for the northern hemisphere, leading up to the spring and the early summer. When you think about gardening, and we're looking at the energy of spring and early summer in the northern hemisphere, we're looking at the time in which we begin to maybe start our seedlings inside if you're in Minnesota, or the time when you begin to plant your seeds or plan your garden. This is the beginning of the cycle in the year where we really set ourselves up to explore what are we creating. We've had the new year. We have, as part of the new year, begun to explore what do we want to create. We've been through the dreaming cycle, the imagining cycle. Now we're entering into the cycle where we actually do the work. We're actually beginning to think about, what do we want to put in that garden? What do we need to do to get the garden started? What seeds do we need to plant? So a very important time, a very important cycle that really supports you, most importantly, in exploring what seeds do you want to plant in the manifestation of your dream. What consistent actions do you need to take? What balls do you need to get started rolling? What preparation do you need to do for the creation of what it is that you're creating? Now, I want to just quickly talk about preparation. That means acting as if it's going to happen. Okay, so this isn't act of faith in something that perhaps isn't seen yet. Think about when you plant a seed. And when you put the seed into the ground, it's under the dirt, right? And you don't really know what's happening to the seed, right? If you can't keep digging that seed out every day and picking it up and looking at it and going, has it got any roots yet? I don't know. You're not doing that, because if you did that, you'd actually kill the seed, right? That's doubt. That's what doubt does to dreams. If you're constantly pulling up that dream out of the creative matrix that you've planted it in, and you're examining it, and you're trying to see, is there proof of this happening or not? You're going to eventually kill the dream. This is the time when you must have, in the creative process, the greatest amount of faith, the greatest amount of trust that the unseen is already moving towards you, and because it's already coming towards you, you're going to start taking those actions necessary to facilitate the foundation being set, so that when those things begin to start manifesting, when that starts popping in your reality, you're ready. So let's put that in concrete terms, because I want you to really get this. Let's say you decide you're going to start a business, and that this is something you've been dreaming about for years, and you've decided 2019 is the year you're going to get to it, which I hope you do, because it's a good year for you to do that. When you get ready to start your business, you've got to have some things in place, right? You need to have, a name for your business. You got to file your LLC papers, maybe. You got to build a website, maybe. You got to have a brand. You got to have a logo. You got to have products or whatever you're going to sell. Those are the things that you don't need to wait for. That's part of laying the foundation for that aligns with the expectation that your business is going to be successful, right? You are setting the stage for whatever it is you're envisioning, and that's very much what the energy of this quarter is about. We're being supported in this with the movement of the planet Saturn, which sets the tone in the outer planets, that holds the template in place for our evolution. Saturn moves into the 54, which is the gate of divine inspiration. So we are divinely inspired. We have Uranus in the 61, opening us up to possibility and helping us see our unique role in the cosmic plan and in the universal dream of life. We're getting a lot of clarity right now. We're getting a lot of inspiration. I want you to see that you are a sacred steward for the seeds of inspiration that you are planting right now, which means if you have an idea or a dream, then you've got to be tending to that, not just up here. Don't say that's not enough. You need to be doing that too, but also in your tangible reality. You've got to be tilling the soil, so to speak, or getting those little peat pots and getting them wet and putting your seeds in there. It's time to get to work. That being said, the sun moves this week into the gate 13, moving into Friday into the gate 49. These are really powerful energies that actually set us up for making new commitments to the manifestation and doing the work of our dreams. The 13, which starts the week, the 13 is all about the stories we hold in our hearts and whether those stories are true or not, or aligned or not with the heart of who we are. I have been saying for probably a year now, off and on in my transit reports, that we are in the cycle of retelling the story of who we are and making sure that the story that we're telling is in alignment with the truth of who we are. This solar energy enhances that process this week. So you are being beautifully invited by the sun, as well as the new moon on the 4th, which I will do a separate report on, a bonus report on in just a few days. When we are exploring the energy of the gate 13, we are being invited to look at, is the story that we're telling true? Are we really telling a story that's supporting us? Are we holding on to old stories that are keeping us trapped in a story that doesn't really serve the fulfillment of our dream and our purpose? This is a great week for you to look at your patterns, in particular the patterns that you have in your relationships, including the relationship you have with yourself, and letting go or doing your forgiveness work around stories that aren't serving you anymore, or relationships that aren't serving you anymore. With this energy, we often get the expression or the transmission of secrets. Secrets tend to get revealed under this energy, and it's these secrets that we reveal to each other, and these can be secrets that are about intimacy, what you really want, what you really need. It can be deep, beautiful, heart-based honesty, or it can be other kinds of secrets too. But from this revelation of truth that we experience, we begin to be able to craft stories that are more in integrity with that truth, whatever that truth may be, whether it's in your partnerships, whether it's in your relationship with money, whether it's in our government relationships, whatever. Secrets will be spilled. But the spilling of those secrets is not about hurting, it's about truth and making sure that our hearts are aligned with truth and the stories we tell are aligned with truth. That's important because Friday, sun moves into gate 49, the gate of revolution. So the truths that we tell, the stories that we hold, move us towards creating revolutions in our lives. Now, those revolutions can be revolutions that bring us deeper quality of intimacy, sometimes through being honest. When we're honest with each other, we actually create the pathway for deeper intimacy. Or it's a revolution that says, hey, I'm ready to be doing a different story now. I'm not going to be in this story anymore. And we make the changes we need to make to continue to bring our lives in alignment with the true story of who we are, the true story of what our hearts need, the true story that ultimately brings us greater intimacy, greater support, greater sustainability in every era of our life. That's good news because revolution ends right before Valentine's Day and we move into the energy of commitment next week, which I'll talk about next week. So it looks like we're setting ourselves up here, if we do the work this week, for a really fabulous Valentine's Day. So don't panic. So this week, do your forgiveness work. Be honest. Spill any secrets you need to spill. Be a witness to other people's secrets. You may find that you learned some things this week. And don't be afraid to start a revolution that needs to be started. And don't start a revolution that doesn't need to be started either. All right. I think that about covers it for this week. Again, lots and lots of homework to do this week around your story, around what you're really seeking to create. And I really want to encourage you this week to think of at least one solid, concrete, consistent action that you can begin to implement in your life that would support you working as a sacred steward for the seed of your dream. And explore for yourself, perhaps, what you need to do to deepen your trust in the unseen. Stop pulling the seed out of the soil and seeing if it has roots, okay? Be present to the miracle of the unfolding, the timing of the unfolding. And don't panic if you can't see the results yet. act as if. That's really the mantra for this quarter. Act as if. Keep taking those actions. The more you tend to that garden, the better those seeds will grow, the deeper the roots, the healthier the leaves, the more you'll have fruit that will support you in letting your dreams come true.